Hi, this is Aaron with AST Productions. Starting the next video. Before we do, jumping right into it, always want to take you through my website. Navigate pretty easily. FL Studio tutorials I'm going to have right here, adding more videos as time goes on. Additional music that I'll start throwing up. This is all stuff from years ago that I made using FL Studio, and now I'm going to jump back into creating more content, and then obviously, or I shouldn't say obviously, but definitely get other artists on and kind of build from there. So you can discover other artists and then also take advantage of the tools that I use to create and some of the merchandise that I myself will wear from time to time. Really good quality stuff. I use FL Studio, get it at a discount right here. As before, you can click on it. It'll take you straight to this site. It's taking a second. Here we go. You can accept or not accept. You can download for free up here at this icon, or come down here and grab any version of the software that you want. Currently, I have this version, but lifetime free upgrades. So I bought it way back in 2008, and I have tons of stuff that was updated when I came back. And with that being said, you can see kind of behind all this what's there, and this is additional to the program VST insert that I went ahead and got a plugin with my Akai Professional MPK Mini keyboard. But today we're gonna focus on FL Studio Basics. So let's start with some basics, and then you guys can comment, email me, let me know some material that you may want me to focus on if you're interested, which I think would be beneficial. I learned a lot of stuff a while ago, how to use this program, and haven't really had the ability, I guess, until lately to kind of bring it all back together, get studio equipment, and I'll rebuild my studio slowly. Yeah, so we'll start with the basics, and if there's specific things that you guys want to know, just let me know. We'll start with the layout and how to navigate through the software, through the program, utilizing sounds and how to place them in the mixing board, using inserts, how to use inserts properly on the mixing board, when tracking, and then also using the channel rack patterns, etc. So, getting started, this is some music that I've been working on. We can take a listen to that later or some other time. But for right now, let's just start a new pattern. And you can see on the left side the patterns will count off as I'm shifting patterns up here. Let me drag this down a little bit out of the way. We can close this for the moment. Get my face out of the way. Alright, so kind of going through some of the basic things you'll use every time when putting a song together or just trying it out. You'll have the channel rack, as I mentioned before. The channel rack has all these different, I guess, instruments that you may use or plugins that you may use while trying to create whatever song or sound effects or sounds to movies or video, whatever it is that you're attempting to do. So this comes, I started with a template, so this is why this one's already loaded. And in a previous video I kind of edited some of these sounds, so I'm not going to go back into editing at the moment. So you can see how that works. Now, let's see. Layout and how to navigate. So let me just save that really quick. Layout and how to navigate. File. Save as. FL Studio instructions. Basics. part 1. Alright. So usually you'll get this screen, or this will pop up normally when you start off. Up here in this area at the top of the screen, you can get the view playlist. You can have the view piano roll. So whatever instrument is selected, the last instrument selected was that hi-hat. Then the channel rack. Right after that, you have the mixing board, right? View the mixer. After that, view browser plugin picker, which is right here on the left side. And then open project, so plugin picker. I guess is a new way to view what you've written already. It's pretty cool. I haven't actually dove into that. So it breaks up the song into the patterns there. I guess envelope controllers, samples that you have. Well, I guess it's pretty cool, huh? So it's an update from what I had originally. Open project plugin, open plugin, project picker. So some of the plugins that are available or that I've downloaded on top of the software. This is where you can tap your tempo in, and then view touch controller. Lastly, purchase FL Studio upgrades and plugins. So for right now, let's focus in on the channel rack, adding and subtracting plugins. So right here, this is a plugin that I downloaded with the Akai MPK Mini. It's a synthesizer. Right here, you can see the plugin editor, wrapper settings, and functions. Go to functions, you get the keyboard. So I'm doing this with a mouse. I can also do this with my keyboard, right? Also, if you're having an issue with sensitivity between the keyboard triggering and it actually relaying to when you hit the keyboard, if it's triggering the sound quick enough, you can always go to options, go to MIDI settings, come down to velocity, and then use this editing map curve. So the higher you kind of set it, the more sensitive the triggering the more sensitive the trigger will be to the sound that you're trying to activate on the software. The further back, not only is it loudness, but also how quick the note will kick off. So the velocity and then the release. Another thing actually I like too, going to project info and then typing right here what it is you want to work on, and then when you open your project back up, there will be a screen that displays all this information immediately, so you can remember where you left, what you want to work on, what you want to accomplish on the next time you open the software. I've also seen, and I struggled, and I don't know why, as simple as it is, how to save my first project. I had to go to, obviously, just like you're saving in Word or any other kind of software, generally you want to go to File and then Save or Save As. With that being said, if you have the free version, I don't know if you can save your projects. I remember when I first downloaded this back in, I want to say 2007, you couldn't save your project under the free trial version. You have to upgrade in order to save your project, which is definitely worth it. Like I said, I've got all this upgrade, and that was over 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 years ago that I got this software. So that's pretty cool that they consistently give you updates. Like they said way back when, they're sticking to their word. With that being said, if you want to add, let me see where did my recording go? There you go. Sorry about that, guys. Give me a second. It's already running. I'm just trying to see what happened to my recording. Alright. So, moving forward. Oh, there it is. Moving forward, there's my screen. There we go. Forgive me, I'm trying to get this to be a little bit more fun and exciting, but sometimes it is a little bit dull, and then it gets better as you go on and as you go on. So, once again, there's a synth insert. If I want to insert an additional instrument or plugin, I want to right click, so you should be able to see the light pop up, right click. You can insert, whether it's bass drum, right, or if you want additional instruments, I've downloaded a Contact 7, Sign Player, audio clip, right, so there's an audio clip just below where you can drop in your own sound, automation, boo bass, FL keys, the different VFX right here, the patch, direct wave samplers, 3x OSC, so it's kind of similar to that first synth that I had, 3 oscillators. Let's see, insert my GMS, my harmless, poison, harmer down here. Harmer is actually pretty powerful. I really like that sound that comes from that synthesizer. And if you're not seeing something on here or a plugin that you downloaded, go to the top to where more plugins is available, and then you want to drop down and see if it's here. If you do not see it there, what do I want to do? Maybe manage plugins. Yeah. And then when I manage plugins, you can have this siphon through find all plugins up here. However, if you for whatever reason saved it in a different path that's not available over here in this area, you can type in the path that you want it to look through, like the folder. You don't have to actually go to the exact area, or just back it out to C drive and it'll scan the whole computer and find your plugin, or your VST plugin. It'll display it right here, and then you can star it, and then those plugins will pop up where they're supposed to be in this list over here. And then you can also do the same thing by coming over here, right? Yeah, plugin database, find your install generators and whatnot. It'll be over here as well for your channel rack. All right, so with that being said, if I wanted to add, let's say Harmer, which I need to buy, I haven't purchased the full thing yet. That one sounded like someone tooted, right? A little fart. Let's see, Crystal, I like that sound. Let's see. And then you can alter the sounds, right? Well, we'll get into that with a later video. I'm just getting used to having the headphones on, the microphone over here again. It's definitely interesting hearing the full sound. So with my last videos, I didn't have a proper mic. Now I have a proper studio mic. And we'll just keep building as time goes on, right? We'll just keep building the studio. So starting from the room, and we'll see how big this thing gets. All right, let's see. We can close this out. Alrighty. So yeah, you can insert, right? We just did that. We can replace. So if you right click and then replace that single plugin on the channel rack, you can clone. You could clone what's there, and then you can obviously delete, right? So let's go ahead and try delete. There, it's gone. If I have notes that I want to display from one instrument to the next, So let's say, like here, an audio clip as an example, already have notes in there. Let's say I wanted to bring them down to the snare for whatever reason, or if I wanted another instrument. So let's just add another instrument for argument's sake. Or let's say here, yeah, let's just add an audio or another instrument and keep this simple. Let's bring back Harmer. Let's go those bells, crystal, right? And say the same line that's in the synth I want to be in Harmer. So I right click, where is it at? Right click, go to copy, just like you're in Word, or if you're copying a URL, right click, paste. So now it's available, right? So let's just solo these two sounds. So now I can just concentrate on these two sounds. Let's go to pattern, so we only play this pattern. So let's say it's an octave too high, right? So if you want to edit these sounds in the back end, or go to that keyboard, you would hit this little sprocket, the settings, go to miscellaneous functions, so I can see the keyboard. Now I can drop the octave by going here and right clicking. So I'm moving the root note, right? See how that works? I could add a little sub to it. I know I show you I wouldn't really focus in on this. But once you're in it, then you want to start playing around a bit, huh? So now, that's not the only way to fine-tune that. I can also, to reset the root note, hit reset. We're back to C5. Another way of editing, I can right-click, go to piano roll, click there, or just click right into the line, and now I'm in the piano roll. With that being said, I can hit Control Up, Control Down, and I can adjust what octave I'm in as well. Drop it again. There we go. So if I was going to keep it, I'd probably keep it right around there, huh? So that's a fun sound. Not just focusing on my music. So with that being said, the channel rack also has your volume right here, so you can play with the volume of whatever instrument or plugin you have available right there. The panning, so that's left side, right side, and stereo. Now, how to get this sound from here into the mixing board, right? Into this thing. So if you want to translate the sound from here into the mixing board, they make it easier in the new ones, right? You can just take this and you can see it kind of highlights the mixing board. Mixing board down here. Let me minimize this a little. So you can see as I'm moving, come on. There we go. So as I'm moving this, you can see it selects the appropriate track. So if I'm in 20, I'm in 20 down here. If I'm in 20 up here, I'm in 20 down here. Another way is on the right side of here. So usually you'll have the instrument, right? It's all the way over here. So it's not so big. You can kind of come over here and see right above track, right? You're assigning the track, or you can do a free mixer track, which you can see up here as you hover, which is a big thing. As you're hovering over stuff, a lot of times it'll tell you what it is. Just look over here in this area. You also have the pitch, volume, and pan, so you can do the same thing, and you can even see right behind here, as I'm messing with the pan, I'm messing with the pan up there. So that means sound left, sound right, sound right, sound left. Okay. Always right click and reset. Whenever you screw up, you can always reset. If you screw up a note, you can always go edit undo note or edit undo knob tweak, and it'll do it for you right there. So anytime you mess up, don't be scared to hit reset. Also, for whatever reason, I found, and this was in the older version, maybe it's still the same in this one, I'm not sure, if the CPU wigs out up here and it it hits the top and it freezes for whatever reason and it goes back, do not save. I don't know, I've had times where it screwed up my project after this thing wigs out, it saves, or I save it, and then when I go to reload the project later on, everything's not the same, or I'm missing information that I try. It's just not the same anymore. So you're better off just stopping, save often, but if you ever see like a freeze or anything, do not save, just close down and reopen your project. You're way better off, I promise you, than taking the risk of or not having all the information there, or you open the project back up and it's errored and it's froze. You do not want that to happen. I've had that happen before, and it screws up all like hours of work that you'll never get back, no matter how you try. And if someone does know, please tell me how you get around that, because my best way is just to not save anything when there's an error. Just close it down and then restart the software. I think that's the best way. Alrighty, so let's close Harmor. What else we want to focus on here? Let me take a look at my notes. Layout and how to navigate. We kind of went over that a little bit. Let's kind of continue under how to navigate. So we went through this information here. We can undo history, so that's a quicker way than going to edit, or just remember the short keys. So at studios that I've interned at or worked at, short keys really helps you navigate. You look professional. And it's good for you just at home, knowing some simple short keys. Let's see, over here, open new audio editor. You have one-click audio recording, help for the software, save as, quick save, which you can also do just Control S, render an audio file, view project info, and then launch content library. So that's all over here, right? In the library over here, you have your everything, right? That little wave sign, and then you have current project, and then plugin database, which I've already touched base on. Up here, you can switch from pattern, so if your pattern will be focused on whatever pattern you have selected at the moment. So right up here, it'll focus one pattern at a time. And then song will take all of your patterns, and as long as you've laid them down in this view, in the playlist view, you can lay down pattern 1. You can lay down pattern 2, pattern 3. You can have 100 patterns if you want. It'll be exposed right here, and then when you combine them all together, you select song and play. So while you're playing, your song will come together, right? Just to the left of it is the main volume, so the overall volume. You can adjust up and down. If you have outboard gear, you can do that there, obviously. Master pitch. I haven't really played with that too much. If I do a pitch, it's either in the plugin itself. I've never really done a pitch overall, which I can play with that later, I guess. And it depends. Not all this. Some of this is necessary, not all of it's necessary for everything that you're going to do. Which is kind of a walkthrough of what's available on the software. There's a lot of stuff, but there's some things that you're just going to repeat over and over. A lot of it's going to be pattern, song, play, stop. And then these little buttons right here are probably going to be biggest friends, this pattern right here. How do you snap from a line to cell? If you're dropping in MIDI, or if you're playing MIDI and you're readjusting some of the MIDI that you dropped in, this is going to be your friend. Same thing up here. So this is kind of the same thing, but for the playlist. So snapping in none means you can take a track. All right, I probably have to make a pattern. Let's go to pattern 5, right? And let's just make some notes. Let's just go to piano roll. Here, but get you the idea. So right here you can see I can slide the note around pretty freely. If I go to snap and then I start making it a 16th note, you can see the graphics change behind, and it kind of stutters every 16th note. If I go up to quarter, same thing, every quarter of a note, boom. If I go to half, see it kind of stutters in halves and it locks me in, which makes it easier to move around, a little more articulate. You can go with the beat, right, to the bar, markers, to the line itself, and so on and so forth. And then same thing, get this stuff out of the way that I'm looking at. The same thing on back here on the playlist. So I'll do pattern 5. I could slide it around, right? Or I can go to quarter. I'm sorry, this one doesn't affect this one. Control and zoom in with my mouse, the middle part of the mouse. Zoom in and out, like you're scrolling. Sorry, scroll in and out with control held down. Let's see if this moves it around. There you go. So now I'm snapping to the line. So if I go half, yep, there you go. Just a little ahead of myself. You can go to the beat, the same thing, right? Go to the cell. You can right click to delete. That was a lot of time on the video. Let me see. If your metronome up here. We'll get into all these inputs at a different part, but metronome's a good thing to use after you type in or snap in your tempo, kind of clapping your tempo in. Let me see, what else did I want to cover? Using inserts, right? So using inserts. Using inserts on here. So inserts on here. Let me bring back Harmor real quick. We're on 20. Let me just hit the pattern for a moment. I'm just gonna loop this. I know it's annoying, but I'm just doing it for a moment. So when you click a slot, let's say you want some delay on that sound, right? You think the delay sounds cool. So you can see I can play with that, it's delay. You can ping pong the sound. soft clip, compressor, EQ, right? Let's add a little EQ. Snap every, or maybe it's this one. Yeah, there you go. I want to add a reverb. Alright, let's try that. Create a big sound. Something that lasts for a little while. Delay the amount of time before it kicks in. I'll keep this blocked over. Multiply the bass a little bit. Add some stereo separation. Reflection. You can mix in your dry sound. One thing I learned in the second studio I interned at in Chicago, using some movement and the reverb really sells the sizzle of the sound. Not just having it at one level all the time, but being articulate with it. And having reverb around a lot of your audio, unless you, for whatever creative reason, you don't want it there, but it really creates a floor for the instrument, and then it kind of hangs in the background, so you might not recognize that. Little delay, little reverb goes really goes a long way in your mixes. Let me see, what else. So we kind of touched base on the inserts, right? Come on. And then using channel rack patterns, etc. So we kind of touched on base on the piano roll, and then lastly, I want to take a look at. I'll just delete some of this stuff. Okay. Right about me. Let's do this pattern at the end, and then this is pretty simple. It's straightforward. If you want to make a beat, right? So just drop something in. I'm sure there's plenty of videos out there that show you this. Alright, and then right next to the stop, right, is the record, and then lastly your time shift. So you can mess with the tempo up and down, speed up your beat. Alright, so I believe that kind of covered everything I wanted to go over with you, even if it was a little bit slower than anticipated. Why did I close it out? I didn't mean to do that. Save file, open, instructions, basic. Yeah, use inserts, using the channel rack patterns, etc., utilizing sounds and how to place them in mixing board layout, and how to navigate. If you have any questions, I know I'm kind of dragging this one on, but if you have any questions, let me know, and I'll focus in on that as best as I can and help you out. There's a lot of stuff in here. The more you dig in, the more you realize you don't know. And it doesn't matter how much you learn, you figure out other stuff that you don't know, and it becomes a whole new world, messing with editing and mixing, and different ways to create sounds. Like I haven't even gone over ways you can create your own sounds, how to add sound to audio. I'm sorry, how to add sounds to audio, how to add sounds to video as well. Creating your own sounds. I don't know, I'm blanking on that. Using your shirt if you're creating someone moving or walking. Blanking on the sounds. There's tone in the air, right? There's tone that you really don't pay attention to until you start adding tone from one room to the next. Outside, background noises. Creating your own noise. There's a bunch of different things that you can do. So this is the first basic tutorial, and then we'll add a little bit more other basics, and then we can kind of take off from there. So thanks for sticking around. This is Aaron with AST Productions, and I look forward to making more videos with you guys as time goes on. So talk to you soon. Thanks for hanging in.